Hi there, this is Matt Sewell. I am here today at a 45-acre piece of land that I am selling, or I'm open to trades as well. I just wanted to shoot a quick video because I've had a ton of questions about this specific property, so I wanted to try to address some of those here today, as well as take some pictures and some video of this property to kind of show you what you're getting and to answer some of these questions before you drive out and come look at it. Okay, so I've had just a ton of questions about the timber value that's on here. Is it buildable? What kind of utilities are available? Water, sewer, all that stuff, electrical, and just wanted to kind of answer some of those here right now. So again, we have 45 acres here and selling it for $150,000. If you have paid any attention to Coeur d'Alene real estate at all, you would know that $150,000 is incredibly cheap this close to downtown Coeur d'Alene. We're about 10 minutes from downtown Coeur d'Alene. This here is Blue Creek Road, and about a half mile down the road is Blue Creek Bay on the lake, and there's public access there. So we're really close to the lake. And the reason this property is cheap is because it poses some challenges. Mainly the steepness of the property. You know, right now we're pretty flat right here, so this could potentially be a building site. You know, and there's a little drive that goes down there, and I got a shed down there, which I'll show you in a minute, which will stay with the property. So there could be you might be able to build something, maybe a shop down that way, and I'll show you that in a moment. So the steepness is really the main thing that is the biggest challenge here. There's 3 draws on this property, and then 3 fingers. So my thought with this property was to divide it up into 3 parcels. So you basically, on top of each one of those fingers, you would have a building site on each one of those at the top. Now, to be able to do that, it's going to cost you quite a bit to build in a road up here. So you'd have to bring in a road and do a couple of switchbacks, and it's gonna take some development work. What do I think it would take to build that road and bring that in? I'm just gonna say 100 grand. You know, so it's not going to be a super cheap road. I mean, they got to be nice and wide, and there's requirements by the fire department and through the county for how that has to be built. So it's not going to be the cheapest road in the world, but again, if you're paying attention to Coeur d'Alene real estate, you would know that property out here is going for about $25,000 an acre. So if this is developed out and a road brought in, there's just a huge upside there. I originally purchased this to develop it and build on it myself, basically have my homestead here, and I ended up buying another piece in Squaw Bay, and that's where I'm at now. So my second thought was like, well, I'll just develop it all and sell it out, but I just got my hands in way too many pies here, and I figured I might as well just sell it so I can liquidate some things and move on to some other opportunities that I have going right now. Okay, so I'm just kind of walking down this little old skid trail here just to kind of show you what we got. We're still right along the road of Blue Creek Road right here. Again, this is 45 acres. We do have power right here along the road, and I've already talked to Avista. It's not going to cost anything to drop power in here. All you would have to do is drop a pole for your overhead power, and then Avista will come and hook right up to it. If you wanted to do underground power, obviously you'd have to excavate that out, and then they would put that in. So they're not going to charge you anything for that. So that's a plus. I have done perk tests out here. We dug a number of holes. We dug some over there. We went all the way up top. We dug all over this property. We dug perk holes, and we got good perk. I can provide documentation for that if that's needed for you. If requested, I can give that to you. Water. You know, water is anybody's guess. I've drilled a number of wells. You know, they can be all over the board. I have done a little bit of research for what wells are in this area, and they range from, you know, a couple hundred feet down to 1,000 feet. So, you know, I mean, if you're lucky, you might be able to get it done for $5 or $6 grand. But it would not be unreasonable to expect $30,000 and more. I mean, that's just the way that it goes when you're drilling for a well. It's just kind of the luck of the draw. Now, timber, we do have, you know, some good size volume in what's here. Some of these bigger trees do have some conchs in it, so you're probably not going to have as much timber value there. We do have some decent volume right here along the road. You know, I never really wanted to cut any of that. I like the privacy from the road that it gave us. As we go up the hill and it gets a little more steep, it's a little bit more sparse, and then there's more on the very, very top where it starts to flatten out a little bit. As far as species, I haven't seen any larch. You're mostly going to be fir, pine. You know, I've logged a few properties over the years. It's never been a huge payout. It never been my reason for buying the property. But if you were just buying it to just sit and wait for the timber to grow, you know, you're cheap enough that you know, it may actually pan out. Wildlife, we do got a ton of wildlife out here. We've obviously deer, elk, moose. The neighbor shot a cougar on their property, and they called me last year because I guess it ran onto our property here, and they called me wanting to retrieve it, which of course I let them do. But so we got lots and lots of wildlife. Just a beautiful area, beautiful spot. You know, I was out at the Coeur d'Alene Airport yesterday. I got a little Cessna, and I like to fly just for hobby. And I started counting. There was over 20 jets out there, private jets parked out there at this little airport. I remember growing up, Coeur d'Alene was this podunk little town. I tell you what, this place is blowing up. It is exploding. You know, for better or for worse, it's happening, and the big money is here. You know, I really think, you know, if you want to get in on a decent piece of land, you got to snatch it up now while you still can, because there's some big money coming up here. A lot of people from California wanting to come up and move up here, and they're buying it up, and they're buying it up for decent prices. So and you can't blame them, getting away from those politics and everything. So it's you know, I grew up out here, and I never really realized how nice it is here and how beautiful it is here. You know, the more I travel and the more I go around to other places, this really is one of the best places on earth, in my opinion. So I think it is a good time to really get in and get your piece now before it's all gone, while you can still actually get some decent values. This is one of the draws that goes up. So I think this is the middle one. There's a one down there, and then there's another draw right over there, and it goes all the way up. So you can hike that up all the way up to the top. I'm not going to do that today because I'm not wearing my hiking boots, and it's quite a workout. This is a big piece, and you know, it does get quite steep until you get up to the top there. So I'll walk around a little bit more and kind of show you what we have here. Again, this is what could be a building site here. If you didn't want to cut in the road, just wanted to have a little homestead, you could build a small house right in here, and then, you know, your driveway down to the road would be over here, and you could potentially put a garage or a shed or a shop or something down there as well. Well, actually I already got a little shed down there. I'll show you that. So like I said, I've just gotten tons and tons of questions, and so many that I just haven't been able to keep up with them all or answer them all. So I just wanted to film this to just show you what you're getting here. I am willing to finance this piece. I'm open to cash, I'm open to financing, and I'm open to trades. I'm pretty flexible. There's that other draw that goes up there. What I'd be willing to trade for, you know, I'm pretty open with that too. I could use a snowplow. Obviously, other real estate is always a good thing. Tractors, gold, silver, guns. Let me know what you got, and I'd be willing to do either a full or partial trade depending on what you have. You know, if you got a piece of real estate, no matter what kind of real estate it is, single family home, vacant land, whatever, maybe you got a little bit of equity in it, but you got a loan. You're not exactly sure how you would work a trade if you still got a loan on it. Get in touch with me. I'm fairly familiar with working with different things like that. I've done a lot of creative things in this business, and if you got something that you'd be willing to trade, just not sure how you would do it, let me know, and I'll let you know if we can work something out. So here's this kind of going down a little driveway here, and there's that shed. I brought that out here a couple years ago to just store some personal stuff. There's not really anything in there now, but yeah, so you could build something really small down here. You have to, obviously you have to maintain some offsets here, but little rock outcropping, and your property line is just right behind that shed for the northern property line, and it just goes all the way back. So if you're going to come out here, you're welcome to come out here and walk this property. This first draw here is probably the easiest one to hike up. So that'd probably be the one I would recommend. You walk up there and do that. I'll provide the parcel numbers or the AIN numbers so that you can look this up and kind of see where the property lines are on the county website. I know a lot of guys are using their hunting maps and things like that to find parcel lines, and those work great, so you can use that as well. But yeah, that's probably going to be the easiest draw to walk up right there. If there's any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I've gotten a lot of questions, so I'm hoping that this will answer most of them, but I'm pretty available if you want to meet me out at the property and come look at it. I just live a couple minutes away, about 10 minutes away from here. The view back here, if you go up on top of this hill, there are some beautiful views of the mountains across from me here, but I have not noticed any views of the lake. So we are really close to the lake right here, but I think the way the property is situated and with all the timber in the way, I'm not sure it would be possible to ever see the lake. If you took down some timber, it might be possible, but I'm not really sure there. Some of the timber that's in the way might be on the neighboring property here. As far as neighboring parcels, so behind us on the back and on the side, it's owned by the same owner. It's a gal back there. She's got quite a bit of property. I want to say somewhere around 350 acres. So and she's just got one little homestead up there. You're not going to get any issues from her. It's pretty quiet out here. I'm not sure how big the parcel is next to us on this side, but it's probably at least 10, 20, 30 acres, I would imagine. So you got some big parcels out here. It's just quiet. It's just nice, and you're close to town. As far as getting here, you can take either exit 17, which is coming right that Mullen Trail Road, right as you're coming out of Coeur d'Alene, and then take that down here, or you can take the Wolf Lodge exit, which is exit 22, or the Highway 97 exit, and then you would go north from there. We're right on the on Blue Creek Road here, directly across from the Blue Creek shop. So there's a huge green shop right across the street from us here. You can't miss it. They store like boats and stuff in there. The place is massive. It's if you've ever been down this area, if you know this area at all, it's kind of a famous landmark. But it's right directly across the street. You'll see the little shed on this side of the property. Feel free to come by, walk the property, do your due diligence, and let me know.